Welcome to the Times Lakers show. I am Dan Woike. I'm the Lakers beat writer, and I am in a hotel in Sacramento, California. And I'm joined by my good friend, my colleague, a Lakers legend, a Clippers legend, an LA legend, a Pasadena legend, Broderick Turner.
Man, I Am Legend.
Never seen that movie.
You gotta watch it, Dan. Have a nice glass of wine after a good dinner.
All right.
And watch a good movie. Well, watch a movie.
Anyways, let's talk about commitment. And let's talk about the Lakers. And I want to talk about D'Angelo Russell.
Yes.
Okay. We have not spent a lot of time talking about D'Angelo Russell. You have known D'Angelo Russell for his entire professional career. I'm going to put this theory out, and then I want you to react to it. I can't think of a player who was as dangled openly in trade rumors as D'Angelo Russell was this year, who then responded to said trade rumors by playing the best basketball of his professional life and becoming an invaluable part of an organization. Can you explain to people just like how hard it is to stand up to that and how remarkable it is that the guy who did it is D'Angelo Russell?
Well, if you believe in what D'Angelo says, he's a killer. And he's built for this. So based on those two comments, I guess he's accurate. He's correct. But let's be honest. The true value of him will come during the playoffs. That's when you show if you are a real killer, if you are built for this. That's when you make your money. That's when Laker fans will want to see you at your best. And if we think back to last season, D'Angelo started off pretty good, strong at times, and then he faltered in the end, losing his starting job. All these things he's doing now is great. He's keeping Lakers afloat in the Western Conference. But the playoffs, that's when all eyeballs will be on the Lakers. They will be on him. That's when I want to see him at his best and to continue what he's doing right now.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting because I think so much, he's obviously like supremely skilled, right? Like, this is a guy who is an incredibly difficult shot maker. He's really, really smart, like really smart basketball player. Sometimes maybe a little too smart, but like he is like whip smart, plays at his own pace, is a good passer. All this stuff is true, right? But like at the core of it, I think like he is driven by like this like insane confidence, right? Like he is like I'm that guy, right? Like he said something to me the other day after they beat Milwaukee and he had a monster game against the Bucks. He had said something that he's like, no, LeBron, man, in my mind, like, all these people are here. They're here for me. I'm here to put on a show for them. And that's how he thinks, right? Now, that has made him the perfect man for the moment right now, I think. To your point, in the playoffs when, you take a couple heat check shots and they don't go in. Or, can you still operate with like this same level of confidence? That's a fair question, I think.
I think he can because he is supremely confident. It reminds me a little bit of Derek Fisher on a team with Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol. Derek Fisher was extremely confident in his abilities. He wasn't as outspoken about it as D'Angelo is, but D'Angelo, in a way, reminds me of a story I heard about Jason Terry when he played for Dallas. He was on a team with Dirk Nowitzki, and in his eyes, he was the best guy on the team. Now, he was not, but they played the Miami Heat with Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh. Jason Terry thought he was the best player on the court, and he played that way. Yeah. Right now, D'Angelo is playing as if he's the best player on the court, whether it's Giannis Antetokounmpo, whether it's Damian Lillard, whether it's LeBron James at times, whether it's Austin Reeves, your guy, whether it's Anthony Davis. D'Angelo believes he's the best player out there, and that goes a long way with his confidence and a long way with him playing great basketball.
Yeah, I think before we move on to something else here, I think two questions on D'Lo. One, are they going to bring him back, right? He has a player option this summer.
Well, not are they going to bring him back, does he want to come back? right?
I mean, I think, look, right? Like if he plays some version like he's played since the new year, I mean, I think opting out makes a lot of sense and
Right.
hit the market and then maybe not even for like a giant. I think he's due like 18 some million next year. I don't even think it's like, you're looking for. He probably would look for like 30 and maybe he wouldn't get it. But like, you could get more years, right? Like you could get 25, $26 million, 2 or 3 years. I'm just spitballing. I don't even know if these are real numbers, but
Well,
like, I
Dan,
think
how about
like,
this? If D'Angelo has a great playoff series and he opts out, he will have plenty of suitors. The playoffs is when you make your money.
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think like, there is like sort of like, there's been this like kind of long running narrative about him as like, is he a winning player, right? Like people know he's talented. And I think you're right. Like you go into the playoffs, you play well, you win in the playoffs, like you change that narrative, I think. I want to hit you on something else here quick, BT. We're recording this on Wednesday. Like I said, I'm in Sacramento. Here's the thing that occurred to me before practice the other day. The Lakers can't beat the Kings. And another team that they can't beat, BT, the Denver Nuggets. And who is fourth in the league? Sure, but listen to this. Listen to this. Here's my logic. Their teams are not identical, but they do, I think, present similar stressors on a defense. And here they are. You have dynamic passing big men, right? Nikola Jokic, Domantas Sabonis. This is crazy, BT. Fourth and fifth in the NBA in assists per game. Those two players, okay? You have guards that are 3-level scorers. And when people talk about 3-level scorers, BT, you hit the three, you finish at the rim, and you got that midi that like not a lot of people have anymore. And like, look at me talk. Look at me talking X's and O's. And I think De'Aaron Fox and Jamal Murray are 3-level scorers, right? That I think attack the Lakers' suspect point of attack defense in interesting ways. And then both of these teams surround those two players with shooters. Surround them. 3-point shooters everywhere. Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes, Kevin Huerter, even Trey Lyles, Malik Monk. And then obviously Denver, Michael Porter hasn't missed a shot against the Lakers since like 2013. And
He has no conscience.
So I guess to me is like, BT, when you've covered teams that have like real aspirations, do you need to get one of these wins in the regular season to like prove it? And do you think a Kings win could prove it? Would it be proof of concept for what they're trying to do against Denver? Should they see Denver down the road?
The Lakers have LeBron James, who believes he can beat any team anywhere at any time. They have Anthony Davis. We just talked about D'Angelo Russell. Still, I think for the group, you need to get a win. And they have to do it in Sacramento. Yeah. One thing about the Kings, they want to beat the Lakers. De'Aaron Fox wants to beat the Lakers because, as the theory goes, he's still upset with the Lakers for drafting Lonzo Ball and not him out of Kentucky. So he wants to show them you made a big, big mistake. And he does that every time he plays against the Lakers.
He has 30 or more in 5 of the last 7 games against the Lakers. De'Aaron Fox. So I went, BT, you'll be proud of me. So I was in Sacramento yesterday on a Tuesday. On my night off, I purchased a ticket, and I went to watch the Kings play the Bucks. Sat with the people.
Sacramento's not that boring, Dan.
The Kings destroyed Milwaukee in this game. And they did it violently and fast. And look, I don't know if I think Sacramento is a conference finalist, right? Like it just seems my sort of bias towards them is like they are a good regular season team. And that, come playoff time, they just don't have enough defense to win 16 times. They can win a series, but like you have to win. I always remind myself, and like when we talk contenders, BT, you have to win 16 games.
Well, look, let's just look at last season with the Kings. They were the 3rd seed in the West,
Took the Warriors to
and
7 games.
they were beat by the Golden State Warriors, right?
Yeah.
So that's more experience for the Kings. But this season, the Kings are not in the top 6. So they're not trending the way they were last season, right? But the West is tough. The West is incredible this year.
Yeah, it is. I said something really stupid on Twitter the other day about it, and I got told very loudly that that my point was dumb. I said that basically the Lakers were 6 games over 500 in a great spot, and if you put them in the Eastern Conference, they be in 9th place, just like they would be. Their record is 9th best in the East, just like it is in the West, and people were like, no, you're playing a lot of worse teams. And people were right. It will be the last time I say something dumb on the internet. Today might have been the most recent. There's still time.
First off, let me ask you this. So you're still on Twitter? Because I'm on X. I'm just saying.
X gonna give it to you.
BT, tell the people where they can read us.
At thelatimes.com, right? And they can also get the paper somewhere out there.
You can find it. You can find it.
You can always read Dan Woike. His great analysis, newsletters. This guy is a joy to read.
You just reminded me I have to do a newsletter today. Oh my gosh. Yeah, subscribe to that. That's free.
Had you not gone to that game last night and drank those beers?
What told you?
I'll leave it at that.
This little puffiness. Thank you. Like, subscribe, comment here. Thanks, Producer Mark. We will be back in a couple weeks. Producer Mark is going to Korea with the Dodgers. So we're going to take a little bit of a hiatus, but we'll be back in plenty of time for the playoffs. Thanks for watching the Times Lakers show. We will see you guys soon.